Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Big crowd tonight. I'm excited to see you all on such a beautiful, actually, I can't lie. It's not pretty out there. It's fall. It's officially fall in northern Michigan as of the 22nd of September. And that means that the trees are changing color and the crunchy leaves are all over the forest floor, starting to build up, and people are putting pumpkins on porches and wearing fuzzy warm sweaters, and oh, the pumpkin spice, and the people that hate pumpkin spice, right? It's those. I'm indifferent, so you know. Welcome to the Formula 97, going backwards, 97 episodes of real estate photography, virtual tour, sales and marketing training. I've had a blast. I'm still having a blast at what I do. I love having these shows with you guys. Tonight is a jam-packed show, so I'm not going to waste any time with anything other than diving right into the content, the nuts and bolts of this baby, dominating your local real estate photography market. We're going from start to finish tonight, folks. There's a lot of people on this show that are just getting started. There's people on this show that are registered that are doing 5,000 shoots a year. And there's people all in between. The show is catering, I'm catering to everybody on the show and laying down groundwork. There's gonna be stuff in here that probably a lot of you have never heard before, and stuff that maybe you have heard me say before, but I'm compiled that all into one show. Let's do a quick sound check. I see a lot of hellos and a lot of sounding good. So I'm gonna just jump right in and thank you all once again for coming to the Formula. What a special event. And I'm happy to be able to put this together. Couple things, folks, couple things. Have your phones ready. I put some QR codes throughout this presentation that lead you to further information. I have, once again, there's QR codes throughout the presentation that will lead you to other shows and other presentations that you may want to take notes on. So when you see a QR code, scan it. I will bring it up. Have your notepads, have your pens. Make sure you take lots of notes. And I'm always available for follow-up questions afterwards. But let's dive right in. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jason LaVanture. I started RTV. Wow, it's been that long? Am I that old? In 1999. Quick history, we've brought together, we programmed a real estate photography and virtual tour software back in the late 90s, and I've brought on, it's like 3,200 photographers since then. And we made just awesome software back in the day, and we helped real estate photographers really create their own brand. We were never a franchise. We were create your own brand, be your own identity. And in 2005, we started offering national photography services and gained a lot of hotel accounts. Than anyone using our software. Nowadays, we send out thousands of jobs to those people using our system. And in 2007, I don't know what I was thinking. I decided to start another company, BlueLaVa Media, here in Traverse City that uses the RTV system. And so, yeah, pretty crazy. BlueLaVa Media does almost 1,400 shoots a year, and it's a great company. Jim Blue is our admin at BlueLaVa, and we have 2 photographers and drone pilots, and my wife does the books and I do the marketing, so it's a lot of fun. I don't see that my webcam is on here. Hold on, let me see if I can. There it is. I guess it is on. Can everybody see me? Can you guys see me, or are you just seeing the show here? Can you guys actually see me? Okay, hopefully you can see me. Okay, good, because I can't see that you can see me. Okay, so you know, we at BlueLaVa Media, it's really a test company that's gone incredibly well. We never expected it to do as well as it did. We push everything through the RTV system. We looked at the companies that were really dominating back in 2007, and we looked at what they did, how they marketed. I asked a ton of questions, and then I started up BlueLaVa Media using those principles and ideas and thoughts that all revolve around a lot of word-of-mouth marketing and some just really great ideas that I'm going to show you here tonight. So That's the two companies, and you feel free to visit. They're both great companies. I have a lot of fun with what I do. Okay, so this is tonight's lineup. This is our pathway to success. We're going to talk about gearing up. We're going to talk about company setup, pricing, first customer, tips, sales and marketing, and then finally WOM and customer training. And all of these are so important when you're setting up a company, especially a service, right? At the end of the day, this is a service company. And service means a lot of things. If you think about whoever you call upon when you need a small engine repair or a dishwasher fixed or a dryer, or even when you think about when you go out to your dinner and you have your favorite waiter or waitress that take care of you. Service is just, it's really important that you know some of these fundamentals. I'm going to start off with that. I'm going to getting to know your client. You need to know how to say what they are, and it's so many, even seasoned real estate photographers will call realtors realtors or realtor, and there's a right way to say it and a wrong way to say it. So we're going to start we're starting tonight with the basics. You need to if you get it right, you're going to rule the game. If you're at a social, at a mixer out there, I want you saying the right word, and it's realtor, and it's not realtor. Don't say realtor. Don't say realtor, it's realtor. So get that right. It's a common mistake. I thought that'd be a great way to kick things off, eh? Gearing up. So you guys, gearing up, what you're going to need to do this, you're going to focus right out of the gate on just taking incredible still photos. At BlueLaVa Media, we've used Canon, don't kill me, we've used Canon T5Is, and there's probably a bunch of you laughing right now because, yeah, that's kind of a lower end camera. We had 5 of them in rotation. We were sending them back. We were blowing shutters. We just recently upgraded all those to Canon D90s. I'm very excited about that. Whatever camera you get, you have to make sure that it'll do at least 5 brackets. This is going to be very important. I know that SLR cameras, everything's going to mirrorless. Canon's pushing everybody to mirrorless. SLR is becoming harder to find, I know, on the Canon side of things. But if you're using, you want a wide angle lens as well. You want to have like a 12 millimeter if you're using a crop sensor like a DSLR. If you're using a full frame camera, you're going to want a equivalent of 16 to 19. So you're going to want to get yourself a nice tripod, bag, some media cards. If you're going to come out of the gate doing 360 panoramas, you're going to have to get what's called a pano head. You can't, some of you will say, oh, I'm going to use a 360 camera. There's a couple different ways you can go if you're going to do 360s and virtual tours. The best way is to use a Sigma 8mm fisheye lens and a pano head and photo stitching software. So I'm not going to go into a lot of that, but that is the best way. If you're going to pick up jobs from RTV's national accounts, you have to have the Sigma 8, and that produces the ultimate high quality 360. If you're going to get into flambient photography, which is definitely, I know a lot of you are starting to get into, that it brings about its own set of hardware and flash and also a special set of editors too. So keep that in mind, you guys. You're really, if you're just getting started, just start out with a really good camera and a nice wide angle lens, a nice tripod. And I'm all about really dialing in your core product before you start buying all this other stuff and venturing on. This is a business that's really evolved into a high demand for amazing still photos, and everything else is this beautiful add-on. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the show because you make a ton of money on add-ons, you really do. And I'll be going over what our base our foot in the door packages at BlueLaVa Media, and then what our average invoice has been this year. Finally, you're going to need some hardware, and I have to say, ever since Big Al has thrown that out there years ago on, I believe, a Formula episode, the Dell outlet. For those of you that don't know about this, it is a really great place to get used. I mean, I buy all my stuff here. I rarely buy a brand new computer. I buy almost everything off of the Dell outlet. And I've had really good luck. It's basically refurbished desktops and laptops. Check it out. They don't make it easy to find. You actually have to Google Dell outlet. You can find it on their sitemap. So check that out. You'll save anywhere from, I've saved as much as $600. So some pretty cool deals to be had. So that's gearing up. Let's check out company setup. This is probably one of my, I've done a lot of different talk shows on company setup. So step one really is to become a really good photographer. So if you're watching this show and you're a headshot photographer or a portrait photographer, you can definitely shoot houses. If you can shoot a head, you can shoot a house. I guarantee it. I guarantee that. We have a lot of people. I think of Jamie Coster, who's come to our group. We did a whole webinar with Jamie, and he's the headshot man. He started out just doing headshots and got right into real estate photography. It's an easy segue in, but yeah. So you're going to want to practice, and there's really a few main things you want to focus on with each photo. And you can join a real estate photography group and you can ask, how am I doing here? How am I doing there? But your colors have to be spot on. That means really good white balance. If you're going to scale your company, you're going to need to make sure you're all using the same camera, right? So if you're all using different cameras, it's not going to be easy to do. You all should be on the same gear, and you should have a backup too. I didn't mention that before, but one is as good as done. So when you're buying your gear, make sure you get two, one on the shelf. Your colors have to be spot on. Your lines need to be straight. We've talked about that on a lot of the shows. You can use a tilt shift lens to do that in the field to kind of straighten things. But I know most of you are probably straightening the lines in post. At BlueLaVa Media, one of the things somebody slapped our wrist on right away in 2007 was it wasn't straight, and Jim realized really quick how I figured out how to straighten a photo, and we never looked back after we did that. And the other thing is you have to be able to see through the windows. So you've got to have perfect window shots. When someone says I want perfect window shots, that means they want to see the view of the lake. They want to see the view of the orchard out there or whatever it is. So you need to make sure that you're getting absolutely perfect window shots. That's definitely a must in when you're practicing. If you're going to the other thing I highly recommend, I have on the list here, is finding an editor. So the earlier on you can find an editor, and I built out a really cool case here, and when we get into pricing, but you need to find an editor. I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove why it's so important. If you don't have an editor, Google real estate photography editing, and you're going to get a million sites thrown at you. It's super important, and I'll prove that in a little bit. But yeah, you're going to want to practice your bracketing. And then, yeah, for those of you that are kind of experts and want to get into flambient, there's plenty of training out there on flambient photography. A lot of people in the RTV group. I know Rob Estep. I know Robert Harvey is doing flambient, and I'm sure there's a lot of others. So just ask, and somebody, if you are using our system and you have access to that group, just ask. Somebody will give you the information you need. As far as software goes, if you're just getting started, Photoshop, Lightroom, and if you're going to do virtual tours and stitching, you're going to need PT GUI. If you're going to do videos, you're going to need Premiere. Again, I am just going to recommend, if you're just getting started, the Photoshop and the Lightroom. Don't try to focus on too much at once. If you do, you're going to have a bigger chance of failure to launch. So try to just focus on making your still photos really good right out of the gate. When it comes to picking a company name, you guys, it's got to sound good answering the phone. And I have said this so many times. You got to practice that. You got to practice that. It's got to have a nice cadence to it, and a good sound. If you're getting cutesy with the name and nobody can spell it, they don't know if you're talking about if I could go back and redo Realtor Vision, I totally would. It's a terrible name. People think it's Realtor. People don't. They spell it wrong, and so yeah. I'm absolutely happy with BlueLaVa Media. It's got a nice ring. It's got a good cadence. Always get the .com, and don't be afraid to use your name when you're coming up with your name. Remember, we're gonna work on you becoming your brand. You are your brand. People use you in a service because of you, because of your smile, because of your energy and the quality, obviously the service that you give them. So you're your own brand, so use your name. There's nothing wrong with you being Drake Media or LMP Media. So there's listing marketing pros. I'm all for you guys coming up with a really nice name that has a nice cadence and a sound. So think about that when you're coming up with the name, and make sure you get the .com. Make sure you get something with the .com. Don't get a .photographer. Don't get a .net. Don't get a .co. You're just going to send everybody to the .com. So start with GoDaddy, and it's very important that the name, people are going to write you checks to whomever your name is. So if you're Real Vision Studio, they're going to probably write the checks to your .com Real Vision Studio. That's who they're going to know. If you're realvisionstudio.com, BlueLaVamedia.com, that's who they're going to write the checks out. In most places, the check has to match the name on the bank account. So keep that in mind. Start with GoDaddy and come up with the name that is a .com that you're happy with. Once you've got the name, then you can start working on your logo and branding. This is incredibly important. There's so many websites out there right now. If you're thinking about redoing a logo, if you're thinking about upgrading your logo, I'm going to tell you right now, Fiverr and Design Crowd are my two top favorites. We recently redid the RTV logo. I'm super happy with it. Check that out. I think that looks really good. Let's see if I can see my. There we go. I'm up on top here. But yeah, that's a front license plate, and it's pretty sweet. That came from Design Crowd, and it was very inexpensive. Fiverr's very inexpensive, but your identity is you only have one shot at that. So when you get your logo made, get it done right. Get the whole package. You want a transparent PNG. You want a JPEG version. You want the AI file. Okay, don't skimp out and not get the AI file. You want the file, the art file. So with that, you're going to be able to get business cards, license plates, like I just showed you. With the business card, I completely recommend getting a double-sided business card. So here's a business card for BlueLaVa, and we make use of the back side. And we talk about what we do: aerial drone, virtual staging, Zillow walkthroughs, 3D tours, virtual staging, and interactive virtual media, HTML5 tours, property websites. So make use of the back of your card. Don't waste that space. Put down what you do and get the new, everybody like that new material that they're using for business cards. It's hard to put down. It's really amazing. Here's one not to get, mistake over at RTV, the clear business card. Completely not happy with how that turned out because you can't read it when it's up against anything dark. I would never spend any money on these clear ones again. They're neat, and it's like recycled plastic, which is great, but I'll probably never be able to give these away because nobody can read them. So keep that in mind. Speaking of on your business card, it's so important to have a local phone number. I call on a lot of you that still don't have a local phone number, and I highly recommend that you guys get a phone number that's local to the area that you're servicing. Even if you have to get a Google number and just and use that, it's really important to be able to call out and have your caller ID be a local number. There's so much telemarketing and spam now. It's absolutely crazy. Hardly anybody answers their phone. Next on my list is, of course, once you have your identity, somebody wanted to see that logo again. Sure, boom, pretty sweet. That's our new company logo. This is a front license plate that I had made. I had Zazzle print that off, and that's let me see here if I can bring that up. That website, Zazzle. Right here, Zazzle for front license plates. Check that out. The next step really is a website. I can't stress the importance of a nice website. Over the years, I've had people actually run their business without a website and just start selling right away, and that's totally possible. You can do that. I don't recommend it. I really recommend, if you're going to utilize all the modern tools, you're going to have a website with a storefront and a little checkout and booking and all that stuff. So we've got a couple companies that we work closely with at RTV. One of them just redid Joyce's website here down in Detroit. That was Drake Media Solutions. This is a nice looking website. It was a very big upgrade for Joyce, and I do like it. The other company that is doing websites is LMP 360 Media, and that is They just did, Nancy, your site's awesome. I really like your website too. So this website looks really good. And this is Nancy down in Jacksonville, sorry, Tallahassee, Nancy. So very nice, very nice. Get a professional looking website. There are other services out there like Squarespace and similar that'll do websites for you. Wherever you go, you're going to have to probably fork out anywhere from like 350, 400 on up. So depending on what you want to get. That Drake Media does them for 350, but it's do it yourself. So you kind of build it and then and go from there. So they're all different, but research that, get something nice. Next up on company setup, I'm obviously, I'm a little bit biased, but choosing a photo system, there's so many of them on the market now. Obviously, I'm gonna say yes, RTV's got a great photo system, a real estate photography system, but finding something that allows you to create additional boost marketing tools and services and do your invoicing from and books and be able to place orders right off your website and watermark, pay to download, connect into a bank account is such a huge time saver. We've seen it's absolutely amazing what that can do for your business. You can John Henry everything, meaning you can get a Dropbox account, email the agent the photos and stuff like that, do all your own invoices and everything. But the proof has been shown so many times over and over the years with our best top providers that are using systems that the benefits that you get with a system, you would never look back. And most of them are anywhere from like us, $12 a project for each house you do. So get something that can do flyers and payment integration. All that stuff is crucial. And that's all part of the company setup, and you can typically private label a system. Next up is starting to work on your portfolio. This is huge. So this is actually like where everybody comes to a screeching halt, right? Because you're just getting started and you need a demo reel. You've got to have at least 25 or 30 really nice photos somewhere running on your website. So getting a demo reel going means that you got to actually go out there, call your mom, call your dad, your sister, your uncle, your nephew, your friends, your in-laws, shoot their house. You can, but you probably want to get stuff that's actually for sale. And so everybody knows a realtor, and you probably want to start asking around. Hey, I need to shoot a couple houses for my portfolio. You're going to want to find a friend or a friend that's of a friend of a friend, and you're going to want to photograph their house. And getting in there typically might mean that, hey, I need to get into a house. I'm just getting started, and when I'm done, I'll give you the photos, and then and you can work that a couple ways. You can basically offer that for free, or you can just let them know that maybe that you want a referral. I'll talk more about that later because that's a whole play in its own. But you want to set up your portfolio, and you're going to want to, while you're setting up your portfolio, you need to practice and you need to refine your processes. You've got to be able to get in and out of a house in under an hour. And people like Rob Estep or David Slaughter or even Jim Blue are going to tell you got to get it down to 25 to 35 minutes. So you got to be quick. You got to be able to go in, take control, and just and get in and get out, and put on a show while you're there. So let's jump into pricing, you guys. I know that's a lot to fly through on company startup. And David, I see that 15 minutes or bust. Okay, so when it comes to pricing, you really got one shot at this. Kind of. You got to figure out your bleed first. How much are you bleeding? So what's your mortgage? What's your electric bill? How much are you spending on food, gas? What do you need? Do you have a spouse? What are they bringing in? You got to come up with a number. You got to circle that number. This is going to take a calculator, a pen, and a spreadsheet and writing stuff down, because you got to figure out what your needs are. You have to determine your monthly burn. You want minimal bleeding, and you want to stay in the black. That means profitable in the world of accounting. So in order to do that, you're going to come up with a number that you have to hit each month. Okay, I've got to do this much income each month, and that's going to determine whether or not you can quit your job, how many shoots you need to do, and what you need to set your shoots at. Now, remember, I've seen so many people make it so that they can't scale their business. You price it at the $99 photo shoot. There's no room to scale that. What I mean by that is there's no room for your admin. There's no room for you to hire a photographer and still make money. So you have to remember to leave room to scale. And so all of this requires that you jump into some competition review. You want to Google your area real estate photography, and you want to make another spreadsheet. So some of this is going to take you back to school a little bit, but you want to Google your area real estate photography, come up with a list. I recommend sifting through all of the stuff, figure out what they're charging per still photo. So most real estate photography companies are going to have this many photos for this much money, this many photos for this much money, this many photos for this much money. Break it down. What are they charging per photo? If you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. You don't want to be the lowest, because that's going to attract the worst customers, okay? But get a range, get a feel for it, and then stop looking at the competition. Just stop. You don't focus on them too much. I don't want you to go, he's offering this, she's offering that. You know, you've got to first get really good at what you do before you try and do too much. And if you bite off or try to bite off too much at the beginning, it'll be awful, and you'll just sputter around. So you determine your price per still photo, and once you are ready to start your package creation, keep in mind, again, still photos drive the industry. Okay, think of your pricing just in terms of still photos, and you keep reminding yourself, you can't list a home without still photos. They need you. They totally need your services. And nowadays, agents that don't use professional real estate photographers kind of, most of them are starting to get that they have to, which is a really good place for us to be. As far as your packages go, consider going with 3 packages: a lower, a mid, and an upper. And again, you can be in the top of the tier, you can be in the middle as far as where your competitors are at, but can definitely consider 3 packages. Now, you've got your primary packages, then you've got your add-ons, and the add-ons are huge. And when I say huge, BlueLaVa Media starts out at $145. Okay, our average this year so far is $320. Our foot in the door package starts out at $125. But when we add up all of our invoices, when we look at everything that we've used through the RTV invoicing system this year, our average invoice is actually it's $326. That's from add-ons. Do you want fries with that today? Do you want virtual staging? Do you want drone? Do you want twilight shots? Do you want a Zillow 3D home tour? And the list goes on. Over at BlueLaVa Media, we offer a lot of stuff. Now, this gets into your core products here. And again, it's exciting thinking about all those add-ons. I want you to take a step back first and get really good. I've put these in a list, and I'm not going to say everybody here is going to agree on this list that I've made, but I've made a list of things that I think you should do in this order, because the stuff towards the bottom of the list is going to take a lot of specialty software, expensive hardware, and has a higher learning curve. At the top, I have amazing still photos and property websites, okay? And that is something as simple as this. This is from Miami. That's all they do. In fact, over 70% of all of the productions on the RTV servers being uploaded each day are just still photo projects. And it's gotten very popular. People are just doing these real pretty still photo projects and charging real good money for them. There's a gallery. This is a property website. You upload this to the system. It's automatically created. Your invoice is created. You send it to your customer. Boom, you're done. It's pretty easy. So that's at the top of my That's at the very top of my list is selling property websites and beautiful still photos. And If you're using a system, it's probably going to come with a nice little weekly traffic report too. So followed by a lot of systems are going to allow you to sell printable flyers and social media cards and social media videos and additional things that you can give the agents. Some people give these away. They include it in their package. Some people sell it. So, you know, social media videos for Instagram and Facebook. Next up on the list, I chose Twilights and virtual Twilights because they've gotten so easy. You can really, if you're going to show up, you can only do one Twilight shoot a night, right? But you can do a lot of virtual Twilights. At BlueLaVa Media, we have actually started doing virtual Twilights for the same fee that we charge regular Twilights. And we've been selling a lot of those, and they've gotten fairly popular, especially when they're homes that are on the water and in unique locations. So I put virtual Twilights there, put it above virtual staging, even though virtual staging is super easy. If you're going to use a service like for us or for a zillion services that are out there, we do them for you for 15 bucks a photo. Typically get them to you the next day, and you just obviously you bump that up. I think we do virtual Twilights for $5, which is insanely low fee. If you're interested in that, you can email Brandon and he can do one for you. But anyway, the point is you bump it up. At BlueLaVa, I think we're charging like, I want to say $100 for virtual Twilight. So that's it's a $95 markup for us. Next up on the list, and the virtual staging's great. We charge $35 for that at BlueLaVa Media, pretty low. But we pick it up from RTV for 15 bucks a photo. So floor plans, you guys, floor plans are super easy to do. At BlueLaVa Media, we use Cubi.casa. That's CUBI.casa. You can download it. It's an app. You walk through the house and you scan like this, and it builds a floor plan. Then you can take that floor plan and you can overlay it onto the RTV. Let me see if I got one here for you. I think this one's got one on it. You can overlay it onto the property. So when you go into the property tour, into the virtual tour, it's got let's see if I got one in here. Yeah, there we go. It's not going to show the best. There we go. So you can kind of get the picture. So when Cubi.casa sends us their floor plan back, we take it and we put it into this, and you've got what I would call an interactive floor plan tour. So some of these little buttons go to still photos, some of them go to 360s, and it's a pretty neat way to tour the house. John Zickert, every photo package that we do for him at BlueLaVa Media, he gets the Zillow tour, which is here. He gets the interactive floor plan, and I'll be talking about this a little bit more, but it all integrates into, as you can see, the property website. So when this blasts out to social media on the realtor.com, the MLS, and the big real estate portals, all your media is in one vehicle, which is awesome. It's what you want. So I put floor plans there because they're fairly easy to make, way easier than back in 1999 when we started. I'm telling you, and you had to measure everything. Interactive floor plans I just showed you. Virtual tours and 3D walkthroughs, I put lower towards the list. And a lot of you are like, Jason, but why? RTV is a virtual tour software company. Nowadays, most people, you guys don't want to buy pano heads and learn PT GUI and learn how to actually stitch photos. You can buy a Matterport for what, $6,500 the new camera, $5,000. I mean, it's ridiculous. But it's not cheap to get into virtual tours, no matter how you dice it up, unless you want it to look like crumb. If you go buy like a Gear 360 for 50 bucks at Best Buy, they're going to look terrible. You need at least $1,000 one-shot camera for it to look decent. You've got $1,000 for a Sigma 8 fisheye lens. You've got $400 for a decent pano head, a good one, $325 for PT GUI Pro, and that's just gearing up. Then you need to learn how to find your nodal point and use all that. We can help you at RTV. Shoot us an email if you need help finding your nodal point or any of that stuff. I actually just made a nodal point video the other day. But so I put virtual tours a little bit down there on the list, but they are good money makers. So we do a lot of Zillow 3D home tours at BlueLaVa. Again, our foot in the door project for us to come to your house is 145 bucks. On top of that, our top seller's drone. Next in line is Zillow 3D Home Tour. We have kept Matterport out of Traverse. I'm not going to say that. We haven't kept them out of Traverse City, but we've kept them out of our knickers because we offered Zillow 3D Home Tour. So we've not lost customers with the onset of Matterport. We say we have a 3D home product and here it is, and we serve it up. And they like it. Next up on the list, agent headshots. This is a lot of them that you guys don't think of. We've actually done about $2,800 in headshots this year, which is pretty good. And it makes the list. It's something that you guys can do. It's not difficult. Especially think about like real nice backdrops, like you focus on homes around the bay. Let's do your headshot with the bay in the background, or Silver Lake in the background, or Torch Lake in the background. You know, think about that. You don't need a green screen or a gray screen, so you can do some pretty nice stuff there. We do have headshots on our website if you want to see what we charge. Next on the list, obviously, because you need to be certified, insured, and special training and have to pass, is the drone stuff. You also need to learn how to edit video if you're gonna do all this stuff. Don't let this stuff at the bottom keep you from launching your business. People will use you just for still photos. This other stuff will drive up your average invoices, but don't let the fact that you're not 107 certified stop you from launching your business. I'm talking to multiple people right now that continue their education, and they get kind of stuck in this failure to launch. And really, if you can take a good still photo, and put together a product, people will buy you and use you a lot. You may not have these add-ons right away, but you can get to them. So finally on the list is walkthrough videos. This is hands down the most expensive thing you can do unless you're using a cell phone. And there are people doing cell phones, but if you're gonna do like a Ronin, which we have, if you're gonna do a really nice camera attached to the Ronin, this takes a lot of editing and a lot of time. We just did a real big project for Lake Superior State University where we walked through the new campus that they did up there at BlueLaVa Media. We did that, and $3,500 project. So there are some really high-end projects that you can reach out and grab when you start offering stuff like that. But again, don't let it stop you. Okay, going into the good stuff here. I've got a couple pricing scenarios for you guys. And okay, pricing scenario. All right, I've got some basic assumptions here, and this is based on, you know, averages that everybody's doing. This drive time is probably exaggerated, but I left it fat. So we're gonna assume 40-minute round trip drive time, okay? So 40 minutes, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. So for some of you, it's gonna be a lot shorter that live in like big cities and like you can get to places. Some of you will be a little bit longer, but I'm assuming 35 to 45 minutes on location, okay? That's 25 to 35 photos. We're assuming 90 minutes of average editing time. We're not gonna use an editor yet, folks. I'm gonna show you something here. No editor in this scenario. And our total completion time for one project is 2 hours and 55 minutes. Okay, so scenario one, 3 homes a week. 3 homes a week, 1 photo shoot every other day, okay? That's gonna bring you 31,200. That's gonna be your gross income right there. So before costs. So what you're looking at is 2 hours of driving, 2.25 hours on location, 4.5 hours of editing each week, and then 8 hours and 45 minutes of actual work each week, and you're going to bring in $600 a week. So scenario 2, and I'm doing this at 200 a shoot, which is a little bit on the upper side, but I wanted to pick a high number first so you can watch something really cool happen, okay? So that's with 200 per shoot. So 200 per shoot, 5 homes a week, 1 shoot a day. 1 shoot a day, 52 weeks is 260 shoots annually, $52,000 a year. And with total 2 hours and 55 minutes of work and that equates to $68.57 an hour. So that's just 1 shoot a day, okay? So you're working for almost 3 hours a day, 2 hours and 55 minutes of each day. You're making $68 an hour. That's pretty awesome. $52,000 a year, that might be that might be all somebody wants, okay? Watch this. Watch when we drop our price to $165 per shoot, okay? and we do 3 shoots a day, okay? 3 shoots a day takes us up to $179,000. We're working 8.5 hours a day, and we're still making $58 an hour, $58.23. Watch this. Watch what's about to happen. I'm going to drop a bomb on you guys. All right. So now we add an editor at $1 a photo. Now keep in mind when you're doing your research, okay, you're surfing through the web, you're looking for a photo editor, you got the Egyptian magician, you got the team over in the Philippines, you got all these people that are working, and they want your business from 20 cents a photo to $1 a photo, okay? And they're all over the boards, okay? Not hard to find. So this is assuming everything from the last scenario, except now we are going to 30-minute delivery time. So there's no editing. We're taking the photos from the editor and we're uploading them to the system, sending the job out to get invoiced, pay to download, watermark, all through the RTV system or whatever system you may use. Okay, so we're gonna build the property website and deliver it to the agent. Okay, cost is $1 a photo. Look at what happens here. Look at what we've got, our obviously the gross revenue. I'm gonna go back, okay? We still got the gross revenue, but when you put in the editor, now all of a sudden you're making $495 a week. You're just doing 3 shoots a week, but you're only working 5 hours and 45 minutes a week. It's a pretty easy week. That's a lot of hammock time, okay? Next up, we've got scenario 2 is just 1 shoot a day. Look at our dollar per hour that we're making, okay? It jumps all the way up to $86 an hour because you're working that much less. So in this scenario, doing 1 home a day, send them out to your editor, get them back, you're only working 1 hour and 55 minutes of work each day, where here you were working 2 hours and 55 minutes. And after you pay the editor, you're still making $86 an hour. Pretty sweet. Scenario 3, we still bring in over $100,000 a year and you're making $70 an hour. So yeah, $16 an hour less, but you still have some meat on the bone here to pay your photographers and scale your business. So I wanted you guys to see that. I did a couple things there that with an editor, without an editor. Feel free to take a picture of that. And you know, this is making some pretty basic assumptions. It's going to change a little bit, but this is what you're going to want to put together for your pricing. Something like this, you're going to assume a few things, and just remember to leave room to scale. I know we talked about that. Okay, you guys, moving along, and I'm going to try to get to the questions at the end. There's a lot here still to cover. First, customer tips. All right, you guys are going to chase the listers. Chase the listers. What do you mean, Jason? Chase the listers? It sounds so scary. All right, you're going to chase the listing agents because there's 2 kinds of agents. There's listing agents and there's buyer's agents. Don't waste your time with the buyer's agents. They're not interested in your services. It doesn't mean anything for you to email them. They're a buyer's agent. They're just helping people find a home. Chase the listers. You're going to find the listing agents. The listing agents need you because when they get the listing, they need a marketing package, and you want to be a part of that marketing package. You want to be the first phone call they make when they get the listing. So you want to make sure that you're looking for those kinds of agents. Now, there's a couple ways, couple really cool things. I call this the congrats play. And to do this play goes back, and I'm telling you, it works. It helped us build BlueLaVa like you wouldn't believe. We got more customers from this in the beginning. What you do, you got to find a real estate agent right out of the gate that will put you in the MLS, the multiple listing service, as if you're a home buyer or you're looking to buy a home. So you go to one of your real estate agent friends and you ask them to put you in the MLS as if you're buying a home. Nothing nefarious about this. All you're going to do, they're going to put you in, and you tell them what your criteria is. Well, my criteria is 40 miles in and around Traverse City, and I want to be notified of any listings that are $250,000 to $500,000 within 30 minutes of Traverse City. They're going to punch in the criteria, And what they can do is they can have an email, then it gets sent to you every time there's a new listing. Every time there's a new listing that pops up that meets your criteria, whatever it may be, you're going to get an email. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? You check your email and you send out a congratulations on your new listing to the listing agent. It's a great way for you to meet agents that are listing homes and chase the listers. This brought us a lot of business for BlueLaVa Media when we were just getting started. Jim's fingers were raw. He had carpal tunnel. We did it until we didn't need to do it anymore. We did it and we did it and we did it, and then we got too busy and we couldn't do it anymore. This worked really well, and it's called the congratulations play. You want to let your agent know that it would be best if on that spec sheet that gets sent to you every day, if you could get the listing agent's email. Not every MLS is going to give this to you. You may have to hunt around for the actual listing agent, but you can easily find that stuff. And all the while you're doing this, you are compiling an email list and a database. I'll get to that on the next slide here, but on the next little section. But it's a great play. This next one is kind of, I've never done this next one, I have to admit, but I also have to admit that we have a competitor here in town that got good at it for a while. And there's another competitor here in town that wasn't good at it, and he came off real creepy. Like he would kind of lurch around and show up. It's called open house. I call it the open house bomb, where you look in the newspaper, you find out when there's going to be an open house, and then you just show up. So you've got the listing agent there. They're probably alone. There's not a lot of people that show up at these things. And you just kind of show up and, hey, and maybe you take a picture. There's probably a lot of ways you could play this. Like, hey, let me get your picture in front of the house, and I'll give it to you, and you can put it on Facebook, just listed. Or you could do a few teaser shots for them while you're there. So there's definitely ways to play that. We do have a guy in town that's proved to me that works. It's not something I've ever done at BlueLaVa, but I know it works. And I know that several of our photographers out there have done this and have gotten fairly good success out of the open house bomb. So it works, you can do it, and that's why it made my list. Next up, for first customer tips, it's just sheer market research. And, so now that you know who you're looking for, you're chasing the lister, you kind of do some market research. You want to find the top listers. You want to build a database of real estate listing agents. Okay, if you were putting in a steakhouse, okay, in Houston, Texas, you don't want a list of vegans or vegetarians. You want steak eaters. So you're going to put together a list of people that are using professional photography or maybe look like they are. You want to put together a list of people that are using virtual tours, interactive media, doing Zillow. Sure, there are people that aren't, that may be possible customers of yours, but if someone's already eating good steak and you're putting in a steakhouse, don't you want to go after those people first before you try and convert somebody that's not? Absolutely. So you're going to put together a list and maybe kind of color code them, and these people are already using services. These people might be, I think this guy's using a cell phone. I think this lady's maybe doing her own tours. So kind of keep things organized. And if you start out right from the beginning, staying organized, that's obviously going to pay off dividends later on. So realtors follow realtors. They copy what other realtors do. This is something that goes back years and years. They are all friends on Facebook. They are all competing with each other. So it's real fun. It's a funny relationship once you jump outside of one office to the other, but they all follow each other. If John over here is doing this, then Betsy wants to do it too. And so keep that in mind. You want to identify the pain points too. So when you're surveying your market and you're in these, you can join these real estate listing groups. Keep your mind tuned to what pains them. Oh, I can't stand doing social media marketing. I can't stand putting in listing signs. I can't stand doing floor plans. In Canada recently, I think it was a year ago, they said every listing has to have a floor plan. Agents hate doing floor plans. They don't want to do it. It's a pain point. Identify the pain points and turn it into a product. It doesn't have to be a product right away. It can be a product down the road. So keep that in mind. So networking groups is going to definitely make my list. So these are huge. I've got a QR code, folks. I got a QR code. You're going to want to scan that. That's going to take you to a 45-minute show. Don't watch it right now because I've got so much other good stuff to tell you about, but that QR code will take you to why you should join the MLS. It is a really good show that I did on basically all the reasons to join basically to join the MLS. So that is again, it's a 45-minute show. So Women's Council of Realtors has been really good to us. We go to their events. We do we did a lot of free photography for them, Bras for a Cause. Once you get in the Women's Council of Realtors, they tell you about upcoming events. You can photograph them, kind of get your way in and give out photos, stuff. You might be able to charge a little bit for it, give it to them at a discount. But just get out there and do some networking. The local Chamber of Commerce can be pricey. Another good local networking. There's all kinds of events. BNI, Business Networking International, is huge, and that is a really good. It's a really good thing for you to join if you can get in it. This is that show, by the way. If you go to our YouTube channel, right here, the girl in yellow, that is the MLS show. And like I said, it's about 45 minutes long. So there's a lot of good videos up top for those of you that might want some other tips and stuff. But a lot of it's covered in the show, but too much on the MLS is inside of that other show, all the neat things that you can do. We had a whole other show on that about a year ago. Yeah, BNI is typically, they only allow one in each industry. So keep that in mind. Let's talk about referral plays. When you're going after getting your first customer, the referral plays are huge. I think that you'd be crazy not to use any of these. Everybody knows a realtor, so ask your find the biggest player in the area, the one that's on top that people are going to copy, and reach out to them and say, hey, listen, I'd like to do a production for you, and all I want is to be able to use it as an example. Or, hey, what I like better is, hey, how you doing? I'm a new photographer in town. I'm a new professional photographer in town, and I'd like to find out if you have any listings that maybe they've been sitting for a little while. Anything that's been sitting for longer than usual. I would like to offer my services to you. I'd like to go and photograph that and show you what kind of little marketing spin I can put on it. If you'd let me photograph that and give you some really cool marketing things back for Facebook and the MLS and a property website, I'll even send you a weekly sellers report. All I ask in exchange is, if you like what I do, give me a couple referrals in exchange. If you do that 3 times, you've got 9 customers. And so I like that better than just doing it for free. I like the, reaching out. You could reach out to the biggest player and do that as well. You could create your own referral program too. Creating your own referral program is going to take some money. Hey, if you refer somebody to me, to your existing accounts, everybody you refer to me, I'm going to give you 25% off on your next photo package, or I'm going to give you free Astro Zoom, or I'm going to give you a free social media video, or whatever it is that you want to throw in that you normally charge for. And you guys, a lot of referrals come from the gatekeepers. These are the men and women that sit at the front desk of these offices. Don't forget about them. They are so important in what you do, and they will refer you so much business. Every year we buy gift baskets at BlueLaVa Media for the gatekeepers, and we go through, we know people at every single office. Jim can walk into any office and he can put down flyers. We know that they're not going in the garbage, they're getting distributed. And winning over those gatekeepers is not easy. I'll talk more about that on the sales and marketing slide, which is coming up next. And we move on here. So I like not giving it away for free. Just on that referral, I like you guys make sure you're getting something, a referral for your hard work. So, but it will pay off. That play works very well. Sales and marketing. Let sales drive your company. I said it before, start selling right away. As soon as you've got a product, as soon as you've got some of that stuff done on that first company setup card, start selling. Sales will lead to marketing. The money you have coming in will urge you to join your local MLS. purchase a membership over here, get the flyers or the postcards that you send out. So sales will lead to marketing. So just remember that. Don't think that you have to do it all at once. Failure to launch, I've seen it way too many times. That's why it's a theme in the show. I've seen it so many times. So seen really good people that can do this whole thing without even a website, okay? So once you get your base product ready to go, you're ready to do what I think whistle stops are really important. This stuff's gonna cost money. I've got a QR code there, so please take a moment and scan that QR code right now. That QR code is going to take you to my little office dog and pony show that I did back in the day with BlueLaVa Media. Yes, it's outdated. I put it on YouTube in 2019, and it definitely does not represent BlueLaVa of today. For example, it doesn't talk about the property websites, the client storefront, pay to download, watermarking, invoicing, all the new delivery site stuff that we have, and storefront. Doesn't have any of that in it. But you'll get the point, and I think it will help you if you watch that. You got to keep it to 10 minutes or less. So you keep it to 10 minutes or less, but scan that QR code late and watch it later. I'm going to tell you right now, you guys, realtors love food and they love booze. That is the way to their heart. So if you can afford doing a food trucks are not that expensive. It's crazy how good of a deal. If you've got $200 or $300 and you target a smaller office, you can sponsor a lunch, and it could be a lunch and learn, or just, hey, how you doing? I'm sponsoring lunch today. If you call a real estate brokerage of small size, don't go too big. If you go too big, you're gonna spend a lot more money. You might need to do pizza, okay? But if you sponsor just a luncheon, they are not gonna turn that down. The person that calls the real estate office said, oh, I'd like to come in on Tuesday at your meeting and talk to the agents. Most of that's closed off now. You got to pay to play, okay? So have a food truck come in, buy pizza for the office. If you offer that right out of the gate, you're going to get in. They're not going to turn down food, and they're definitely not going to turn down booze. If you want to go the booze route, you're going to want to partner with a local bar or establishment and say, hey, I want drink tickets. I want to spend $300 on drink tickets, and I want to have a social. And then you'll announce it you go through the broker and let them know that, hey, I'd like to sponsor a social event over here. And you're going to pass some stuff out and just bump shoulders and shake some hands. So those things cost money, but you will get customers off of those things. When you're at the office, you want to bring something for the gatekeepers, as I said before. Cheese, a wine and cheese thing, those things go over really well, and especially if you're going to drop off flyers. So that's if you want them to get in their hands. If you do a lunch and learn, it made my list. You want a basic photography stuff, basic drone stuff, basic social media stuff, how to get the most traffic to your YouTube video. I've seen people do that. Like lunch and learn shouldn't be like all your secrets in life. It should just be, here's some basics and enjoy the food. So keep that in mind. But when you do set up your presentations, you guys got to get in and get out in 10 minutes. Everything you say. So watch what I did there in that presentation. Feel free to take anything from it that you want. But yeah, it should be tight, practiced, succinct. You should better know what you're saying and better be ready to tap dance, because 10 minutes goes by really fast. So you might have too many slides like I do in this presentation. All right, so creating a golden service, this is huge. So creating a golden service, I said earlier, like we are a service company, and the more you can get people talking about you, the better and more successful you are. You want to get them talking about you, and you want to make them remember you. You want to become your brand. You want to get your logo wear. You take your shoes off at every house. You're polite. You're respectful. You learn to become their personal assistant on a per listing basis. You take stuff off their hands. If they're having problems with technology, you jump in and help them out, because boy, do they have problems with technology. They really do. Becoming their personal assistant on a per listing basis, or saying, hey, yeah, I'll come into your office and help you with that a little bit. Try. Not going to hurt anything. Getting your face around the office, good idea. Absolutely a good idea. But remember, when you're servicing, you want to service wherever you go. You want to service with a smile. You want to be punctual. You want to be on time and punctual. Service with honor, integrity, consistency. That's one that's completely out the door these days. Has anybody tried to get some service done like yow? Yeah, it's not easy. So that goes a long ways, those memorable traits. So write some of your favorite traits down that you like with service and try and become that person. One of the things that's worked really well for us at BlueLaVa Media is we say two nice things. When we go into a house, we always say like two nice things about the listing agent. And the guys will say, oh, you've picked a really good agent, and they're, they work wonders, and they always, they get the job done, and they're a great marketer around town. Come up with a few things that you sincerely mean, these are your customers you're talking about, but say a couple nice things. When the agent calls the home seller, how did the photo shoot go, Bob? Oh, Jason really loves you. He really made us feel great, and he sure said nice things about you. When the agents realize that you're out there saying, when they hear that a few times, like, wow, everywhere I send Jason, he says nice things about me. You're going to program them to continue using you. They're going to want more of that behavior. You become an extended Salesforce reinforcement, if you will, for that agent, and that's awesome. So think about that when you're out there. You're going to want to be gracious. Always say thanks, both to the home seller and the agent for their business, and for the home seller's time if they're there when you shoot the house. Remember, if you're good at what you do and you create a golden service, people are just going to talk about you. They really will. As a final thought on this, send postcards. We sent so many postcards when we were starting BlueLaVa Media. And, if we had a couple customers, these just end up in the garbage. We love you guys so much. You don't have to send us postcards. We haven't done it in a while. We do around the holidays. We send out postcards. But postcards are really good. You can either handwrite them, get them from Vistaprint. There's another one that'll do them for you. This company is Impact. They'll actually handwrite them and send them out for you. I don't think it's actually handwritten, but it looks handwritten, I think. Pretty sure. I mean, it's pretty realistic. So you'll have to check that out. Impact, Inkpact, INKPACT. Write that down. So yeah, those are really good things to do. Again, keep them thinking about you. And this all kind of plays into really building an army of home sellers. And this is huge. There's people on the show right now that can honestly raise their hand and say, yes, I get referrals from home sellers. You will, if you become the greatest showman and showwoman. What a good movie. I mean, right? You're in a house, you're putting on a show. I've said a long time, it's a pretty large percentage of what we do is for show. I mean, like when you're in and out of this house, people are saying, yeah, I can get in and out in 15 minutes or 20 minutes. But when you're there, putting on a really good show is great. Big equipment and fancy stuff, and you want to basically you want to make it look impressive what you're doing, and it is. And you want to get them talking about you, because most people, here's a fun fact, most people that where you're in their house photographing, those people are likely to be moving into the same area. So most people will move into the same area. It's like 53 to 55%. So they're likely to be moving into the same area. So they could use your services again down the road. At BlueLaVa, I think after year 3 or 4, we get home sellers that will say, we used this company before. Can we use this company? Do you use this company? And that's awesome to hear that. Like, to have your agents call up to schedule and say, actually, I was going to use you. The home sellers are recommending you. That's huge. So keep in mind, you should compliment the home seller and do leave behinds. Like, this is something that we've talked about for years. I'm saying it again tonight on the formula. Leave the home sellers with pens or business cards or something printed. Think about doing this. At BlueLaVa Media back in the day, at BlueLaVa Media, we used to rip a CD, okay? We'd rip a CD of the home virtual tour, and we'd mail it to the home seller. No joke. I mean, you're probably like, what? Did that? Yeah, we did that. We did that for the first 5 years of building up BlueLaVa, and it was so busy. They were those little mini hockey disc CDs. It was crazy. Those little tiny, they're business card CDs. But yeah, and so, if I were to fast forward and think about what you could do today with that whole thing, and you're just getting started, wanting to leave because the agents love that. The agent's like, wow, you're sending my seller a free gift? Yeah, their house forever on a CD. Yeah, they loved it. To take that concept and put it into today's world, take a picture of the sellers in front of the house. Hey, before I leave, if they're there, hey, before I leave, would you like me to get a picture of both of you in front of the house? Send it to them. Send it to them and sign it. Put your card in there. Should you or anyone you know ever need my services, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you for letting me photograph your beautiful home. May your future be bright. Come up with something, put it on there, sign you, boom, okay, mail it to them. Get the supplies to do it. It's a great idea, and it will go a long way. Okay, we're moving on. Hold on just for a second. I think I skipped this. Become a review collector. So yeah, you're going to want to collect reviews. You guys, this is huge and it's hard to do. Okay, you're not going to get a ton of reviews. Okay, the top review sites for real estate photographers are going to be Facebook, Google, Houzz, that's Houzz, Yelp. Yep, they're going to hound you. They are going to hound you. So I just Googled BlueLaVa Media reviews, and I've got 15 Google reviews with a 4.9. I've got Houzz reviews, I've got Facebook reviews, and I've got Yelp reviews. You guys, this goes a long way. I'm not a member of the BBB. I haven't done that yet, but getting reviews is super important, you guys. So you're going to want to get reviews. You're going to have to ask for them. People don't give reviews anymore. They really don't. So you're going to have to ask for them, and you're probably only, of those that you ask for, you're probably only going to get maybe 10%. And there's a reason why most photographers, if you're real estate agents, if you're a photographer that's really good at what you do, a lot of the agents don't want to announce to the world what their secret sauce is. And so, but if you don't ask, you're never going to get. So when someone compliments you, ask for a review and have an email pre-written with links to your review sites. Just say, pick one, offer to reciprocate. Okay, offer to send them a review back. Okay. And in some cases, you may have to say, hey, thank you so much for the kind words. I'll tell you what, I'll give you 25% off your next photo shoot if you give me a review. You might have to do that. And we've never done that at BlueLaVa, but I have offered to reciprocate, and I've gotten quite a few reviews over the years. And I keep telling Jim, if they say something really nice and they haven't done a review yet, ask them for a review. So get reviews, you guys. Next up is getting social. You want to get social. You have to get social. It's a necessary evil these days. So what can I do, Jason, to get social? Well, exceptional photographs, exceptional shots, really cool stuff, all makes good fodder for social media sites. The top sites is going to be Facebook, Instagram, Google My Business. You want to be on all of those, LinkedIn, Twitter. So think about all those and choose a few shots each week or a couple just to have an active presence. When you are putting your shots up, don't just brag about your amazing sunset view. Talk about how gracious the Bob was to give you that listing to shoot. So thank your customers for allowing you to be there. So thank your customers. As you're posting it, take the opportunity to tag the customer in the house that it was for. That's what I'm saying. So it's important for you to kind of make that connection and not just talk about how impressed you are with your own photography skills, which are probably getting really good at this point, but make sure you're thanking your customers. Come up with something unique to say. It's not easy to do. Stuff takes time. You want to also be, post your top interactive media, property websites, virtual tours. Not all of them. You can't post all of them. It'll be too spammy, but you should post some of your top ones that you're proud of. Some of the houses that you really like. Maybe it's a new customer and tag them. Hey, so happy to have done the shoot for Stacy Allman. And thank you so much for your business, Stacy, over at Keller Williams. Tag the brokerage. Okay, so posting some of your stuff. You can't post all of it, but posting interactive media, property websites, and the virtual tours definitely will help. Drone videos too is another one. The last thing, you guys, the fun shot of the week. Glenn Farrell made this possible. He was shooting signs in houses. When I say signs, I mean like this: work like a captain, play like a pirate. I had to look around my house to find a sign. Like, I gotta find a sign. So Glenn over at Up and Close built a huge following, and in fact, he'd run into people, and they say, "Oh, we saw last week's sign of the day." And so he called it the sign of the day. But you can come up with something fun. It can be pets, cats. You choose. Just don't do like the uncomfortable looking, goofy teenager of the week. Don't do anything that's gonna upset your, put you at odds with the sellers, right? So you wanna, do stuff that's gonna be fun and that isn't revealing any personal stuff. But the sign of the day was pretty cool, Glenn. Thank you for that. I had to make the list. So that's kind of getting social, and just, this stuff is not easy. It takes time to do. That's why you need an editor, okay? So when the other thing you can do is you can hire it out. You can hire it out. So one of the companies that does social media management, if you're with RTV, you get a discount, and it's a social ignition program. It's LMP 360. This is a great service. I think BlueLaVa Media uses this one. And it's $196 a month, and they do 3 posts each week and all this stuff. So you can hire it out. All kinds of literature there. When you log into your RTV system, down it says social ignition, but you can hire that out, and it's definitely, you have to have a social presence in this day and age. So, the other thing too is local listing sites made the list, you guys. What are local listing sites? They're very important. So if you Google local listing sites, you guys have to do this. This is something you have to do. If you Google local listing sites, okay, you're gonna see probably a bunch of ads for people that wanna help you set up your local listing sites. But if you just do one a week or one every month, you'll slowly get them. And there's dozens of them. Local listing sites are like Google My Business, Yellow Pages, Microsoft Maps, Bing Maps. So there's a ton of them, and here's like the top 10 local listing sites. So you want to write this down. This goes through, and you want to set each one up. This is good for your SEO. This takes time. You have to have a profile, a description, some pictures, pricing, hours of operation, about us. It's like setting up a website over and over again. But if you don't have Yahoo Local, Yelp, Bing, Merchant Circle, if you don't have these set up, take some time and set it up. Look at 48 free websites to list your business. I mean, you can go really deep in this. Seriously, you can get lost in this stuff. So local listing sites, there are companies that will do this for you. So if you go and Google that, you'll find Moz. Moz it's a paid service. I have not used them. I don't know a lot about them, but they give you a local listing score. That's moz.com. You can check it out, and they'll set up all your local listing sites. So check that out. All right, so going further, you guys, this is where things can kind of get like where your head starts to spin. And you can have a blog. So a blog is not for the faint of heart. If you are a good writer, if you want to write about your photography experiences, I used to keep up with the BlueLaVa blog. I have a hard enough time keeping up with the RTV blog, but it is important. It's important to write, and then you can actually take those things, as we'll talk in a little bit about recycling those blogs into newsletters. But having a blog is important. All these WordPress websites come with a blog, and you could have the agent spotlight, the photo of the month. You could actually interview an agent, which is pretty sweet. You could do a little thing with your GoPro or camera, agent spotlight, home pro tips, home preparation tips. We need more of those out there. So home preparation tips are abound on the website, but you could do that too. Everybody's looking for home preparation tips. How to prepare for your drone shoot, how to prepare for your real estate photo shoot. Become with your blog, with your writing, speak as an expert. Become the local expert. Become the authority. Find that voice. By this point in your journey, you will have found that voice. So have fun with it. A blog is fun, and just have fun. Hiring out a business coach is also another opportunity. So we've worked closely with Daryl Stringer over the years and still continue to recommend people over to Daryl. He runs buildafotographybusiness.com. And he, I know right now, is doing, I think, a free mini consultation for anybody that's with RTV all the way through 2020. So you could reach out to him directly. Don't quote me on that. It might be like it's very inexpensive. So check out some of his videos. Daryl and I kind of, we agree on a lot of the training philosophies and principles for growing a real estate photography business. He has grown one as I have grown BlueLaVa, and then he is a professional real estate photography coach. Great guy out of Australia, fun to listen to. The other thing you guys can do is set up a hot sheet. This is my sizzling favorite thing in the world. I love hot sheets. It's it's probably the #2 source for all of our business. When we look at all of the new clients that have come in to BlueLaVa Media, we've gotten a lot of new clients over this last year, and I mean a lot. I think we are over 60 new customers at BlueLaVa. I'm going to show you guys something really quick. I know we are, all right, I'm going to bring up the RTV system, and I'm going to go to users, over to the user section. Look at the create dates on all of these users. Look at the create dates. These are all new users that we've set up in the system. I'm going to page 3, all from 2022. Page 5, all from 2022. Page 7, all from 2022. Okay, I'm probably getting close now because I know we had about 60. There we go. Yeah, I'm on page 9, page 8. I'm just saying, if you create some of the systems I'm about to show you, your word of mouth marketing will start to work, where people will begin referring you. Home sellers will refer you. You will just start getting new customers that are going to try you out. The hot sheet is one of those hot button things. Let me show you what it looks like. For those of you that don't know, the hot sheet is an email blast that gets sent out to a little over 1,600 real estate agents right here in Traverse City. It took me a long time to get that list, okay? Yes, you can buy a list. You can probably call your local board of realtors, become a member, and slowly reach out to photographers and get a list. At BlueLaVa, we did a lot of MLS shows. We collected a lot of business cards. We work really hard to keep this list up to date with the new agents that are coming through the MLS. So we go in, we put the new agents in the system. Our hot sheet, every time we do, I think it's 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. Every time we do 10 photo shoots, this tees up an email that looks just like this, and that email gets sent out to all 1,600 plus agents. These are actual real listings, new area listings, professional photos, aerial drone tours. Do you have a buyer for any of these listings? Huge marketing that we're doing for our customers. We're exposing their product, their production that we've put together for them. We're exposing that to hundreds and hundreds of other real estate agents. And these things get a lot of clicks. These hot sheets, when they go out, let me pull up a traffic report for you. So this is an RTV traffic report here. This shows that this has gotten 78 property website visits, mostly from mobile, 47 on mobile, 42 on desktop. And look at how many, so this is showing how many scenes have been viewed. But look at this, the hot sheet has been hit 29 times. And Zillow 5, Realtor.com 10. That's good to see. I like that. I like that trend. The MLS 7, tours.BlueLaVa Media, that's like from one of the gallery pages, 10. But anyway, my point is, look at how many came from the hot sheet. So when the agents get their traffic report, it's like, whoa, wow, look what BlueLaVa's doing for me. But my point is, we've gotten so many phone calls off of this hot sheet that just come in as a reply. So when an agent gets this in their email and they look at a few of these are real, this is beyond a portfolio. This is a living portfolio of recent work, and not just recent work, like our recent products and services. Like here's John Zickert And I think I showed you guys this one earlier, but here, oh, this has got the virtual tour. The Zillow 3D home tour is on it. Oh my goodness, they're doing that. Oh, the floor plan, interactive floor plan is here on the property website. How do I get one of those? So my point is, this is a great idea. You're gonna wanna do a hot sheet. I have a whole separate, there's instructions on setting it up. You can call us up. You're only gonna get, this is all through the RTV RSS feeds. So the RTV system keeps track using an RSS feed of each project that you do, and it populates your hot sheet, and then you poke it live and it goes out to all your clients. You don't have to, you wanna make sure you give it a check before you poke it out, but it's highly effective. People reply back to it and they simply wanna book with you. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, the next up on the list. So that's a hot sheet. I definitely, one point on that. I have my hot sheet set to 10, okay? Right now, we are sending out 1 or 2 hot sheets every week. You don't wanna have yours set to 10 if you're doing 5 projects a month. You wanna have it set much smaller so it'll pop when you do 3 or 2 or even a couple listings. If you're only doing a few listings a week, my point is you don't want somebody to get the hot sheet and be the stale sheet. You want it to be the hot sheet, right? You want those listings to be still for sale. That's not easy. So you got to set it up based on your volume. It's important for you to know that. Set it up so that if you're doing 3 projects a week, set it up so when you do your 3rd project, it goes out right away. You set it up so you're minimally sending out 1 hot sheet a week. Okay, so that's important. Don't send out a stale sheet. Success fact number 1, when you're good at what you do, realtors, brokers, vacation rental owners, real estate teams, groups, and even entire offices are going to want to keep you in their back pocket and have you all to themselves. I highly do not recommend that you take this. It will happen at some point in your career. If you're really good at what you do, it will come up. It will come up that they're going to say, we want you to exclusively work with us. And I do not recommend that. I don't recommend that you do that. You should run. Success fact number 2, if you're good at what you do, you're going to find that most agents will not shout out your name or your company on social media. Some of them will, but most of them won't. They're going to post your images. They certainly will post your property websites if you give them that, social media videos, flyers and stuff like that, social media cards, but they're going to keep you as their secret marketing weapon. They will, however, discuss you within their inner circle. Their inner circle is Coldwell Banker office to Coldwell Banker office, not Coldwell Banker to Prudential, not Remax to Century 21. They're going to keep it within the teams, and because again, they are competitors. A real estate agent's sphere of influence on Facebook, let's go with Facebook. Their sphere of influence is made up of a lot of other realtors. They're friendly competitors, but they're not going to share all their marketing secrets. They just won't do it. So that brings us into word of mouth marketing. How can you get agents to start talking about you on Facebook? How can you get them to do that automatically? Well, you can do this with the right product, and you can do this with your delivery. So your delivery can be a complete lost opportunity, meaning you go to a house, and by the way, I have a QR code here that you should scan. This is I think the 3rd one in the whole show, and this is about it. But you can watch that. That's going to show you how this works. It's a 10-minute video, I believe, and it's all word of mouth marketing. But your delivery could be it can be your best friend, or it can be a complete lost opportunity. What do you mean delivery, Jason? Well, this is a delivery. So this is a contrived delivery page that the RTV system generates. It's got their invoice on it. They can make a payment. They can view the invoice. They can scroll down. They can edit beds, bath, price. They can download their media. They can grab a printable flyer, the QR code, the social media video. They can view the social media video, all that stuff. It's built in, right? And then of course they can get their link to their property website. We make it really easy. And with a little bit of training, you can get them to push the social media button right there and Facebook it, tweet it, LinkedIn, and pin it. So you can train them to do that. Why would they do that? Well, because it looks good. I mean, the property website looks beautiful. It's gives them bragging rights, right? It's a gorgeous production of their listing. So let me show you some. So that's the delivery. I wanted you to see that and kind of explain. The other way to deliver is obviously go take the photos, edit them, upload them to Dropbox, and just give the agent the link. In my world, and what I've seen, that's a lost opportunity. That's a huge lost opportunity, because if you play this right, you can make it so that every single past production works as a sales force for you. Every single production that you do, as long as you get your agents to post these for you for on their own social media profiles, as long as they post them and they put them on the MLS, once they're on the MLS, they're going to go to the big six: Zillow, Realtor.com, Avoto, Trulia, Redfin, Homes.com. As long as they minimally post them on Facebook and get them on the MLS, you are going to get a ton of exposure without them even opening their mouth, because of the way that you've got all these tiny billboards out there talking about your company. What do you mean, Jason? Well, this is what I mean. When they post this property website onto their Facebook page, when John Zickert posts it on Facebook, I make sure that my production has my logo on it. You can see it down here, and it floats and it hovers. You guys have heard me talk about this before. This is WOM marketing up here, okay? Tours.bluelavamedia.com. My name is in the production link. My logo is down here. Okay, I'm not stealing any of John's thunder, but it's my logo, just like my Ford has a Ford logo on it, okay? It goes on every production. This is Discount Professional Photography. You're gonna get my logo. I'm gonna give you a bunch of boost marketing tools and services. I'm gonna shout your name out. I'm gonna say 2 nice things about you. I'm putting my logo on my productions. You guys need to do that too. You have to. That logo is clickable, okay? And that goes to my website. I get 27 clicks every single month to this page from my previous tours. 27 clicks of highly relevant traffic. What do you mean, Jason? Isn't it just a home shopper? Well, home shoppers are also probably selling their home, statistically speaking, and they could use my services. So now they just became a person that could go to this page and say, why don't we have one of these? Well, let's ask our agent. Why don't we have one of these? Let's ask our agent. And it works. It works. They see these, and so do other agents that are looking through the MLS. Having your name on the production. When John Zickert posts this on his Facebook profile, Shelly Brunette and Ted Lockwood see it because they're in his sphere of influence. They click on the link. Oh, wow, what's this that he's using? Oh, beautiful drone. Wow, I wonder if we can book. Phone rings. Hi, I saw what you did for John. I'd like to get on your schedule. New customers start coming through the door automatically because of WOM marketing. WOM marketing is your biggest sales opportunity. And for a lot of people, it's a lost opportunity because they don't utilize it. And you can simply use your delivery as a real easy way to generate hundreds of tiny billboards out there until the listing sells, that stay out there. When that listing sells, it falls to the bottom of the MLS. It comes down from Realtor.com. But that advertisement sold for you the entire time that listing was live on the MLS, and that is huge. So I want you to think about that. I get 27 clicks a month off of my past productions. So the big 6 that I mentioned earlier are all of your national real estate portals. As long as the agent puts the property website or virtual tour on the MLS, it'll automatically go there. So remember that. Finally, you just have to train your customers. You guys train your customers to do this, because if you don't train your customers, if you don't follow up with your customers and make sure that they are, and you guys can feel free to use this, send me an email, I'll send you a link. These are my boost marketing instructions. I updated them at the beginning of the summer. I train my customers. Jim and I make sure that they post on Facebook. Jim and I make sure that they get on the MLS. When you do a production for anybody and you're just getting started, I urge you, whether you've been doing this for a while, or maybe you feel like you haven't really grown, or maybe you feel like you're spinning your wheels and you haven't gotten any new customers. You're not training your customers. I can tell you right now, you're not training them to use the tools that you're giving them. If you were, your WOM would go off. Your WOM would generate more customers. I know this because the people that are on the show are shaking their heads that are doing 4,000 homes a year, 2,000 homes a year, 1,000 homes a year are saying, absolutely, you have to train your customers. And it's a step that's easy to miss because you got your money, you're happy, you got your money in your hand, and you just did the photo shoot, you delivered it to them. You need to check up and make sure that they're putting them on Facebook. And your power is that weekly sellers report, okay? Your power is this weekly sellers report. If this is noteworthy, Kara is gonna forward this to the seller and say, look what I did for you last week. Then you can remind Kara, if you post that to the top of your Facebook page every week, you'll definitely have something juicy to show the sellers while they're waiting for their house to sell. See, the conundrum is that the problem with realtors 25 years ago is the same as it is today. They took my listing and I never heard back from the rascal. This is a wonderful communication tool between you, between the agent and the home seller that you're providing the agent. And it's free, but it only works if the agent posts the tour. And you need to point that out to the agent. And we point that out that it only works. You're only going to get a nice seller's report if you put this on your Facebook page and make sure it goes to the MLS. Put the non-branded version in the MLS. And as long as the non-branded version goes in the MLS, not all of them require the non-branded version. But it doesn't matter because when any of our productions are clicked off on the big six, we show the fully branded version, and that's RTV technology. But if you train them and you train them well, they get rewarded. Their reward is they look like they utilize the best technology in town. They've got a great communication tool, keeping the seller in a slow or fast market content. They made the right choice. They're getting traffic, they're getting views, they're getting their job done, they are, right? That's the home seller's perception. And so as long as you let the agent know that, as long as you sit down with each of your customers and explain how to utilize your tools and services, you're gonna grow a lot faster. And maybe you haven't grown, and I would urge you, if you haven't, you need to start looking at some of the things that I've talked about here. So some people don't even give any of these tools away, and they make it an upsell. Why would you upsell your biggest sales opportunity, the tiny billboard that's going to sell for you? Why would you charge any extra for that? So try it, give it a shot, train your customers. You guys, thank you so much. Remember, if you love what you do, it's not a job. I'm Jason LaVanture. Call me, email me, visit me on the web, get in touch. And if you have any questions, you guys, thank you. I expect probably quite a few people will leave, but I will go over some of these questions. A hot sheet is a feature in the RTV system. Yes, we utilize RTV's RSS feed. The Better Business Bureau did not work for me. What types of items do you give to the gatekeepers? Tom, they love wine, they love cheese platters, those charcuterie boards, if I'm saying it right, LOL. You're welcome, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you guys. Hold on, I'm trying to get to some of these questions. There's a lot of questions, and I don't know that I can't grab the thing. All right, there we go. Okay, yes, thank you. Lynette, Nancy, thank you too. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, David. All right, you guys. Hold on, I'm looking for questions here. Yeah, I got my logo on Fiverr, very happy with it. Yeah, I was really happy actually with Design Crowd. It was crazy because the new RTV logo, I think, is, I love it. I said I don't have any tattoos, but I said, if I ever get a tattoo, it's going to be that. That's just a beautiful logo. It's gorgeous. On Design Crowd, if you go there, they you put in money, and then I think it's like $250, and then 80 people start working on your logo. Seriously, from all over the world. And then you pick a winner, and then he'll give you a whole bunch of different variations of it. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. Okay. All right, you guys. I have a whole bunch of thanks here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Okay. David ordered a Matterport Pro yesterday for $5,500. Wow. At BlueLaVa Media, we charge, I should give you that. You guys can feel free to take anything that you want from BlueLaVa Media. So our pricing is on this page right here. We're getting ready to launch a new website, by the way. I'm excited about that. But we started $145, which if you do the math on what I was telling you about before is like $5.80 a photo, 83, somewhere in there. But yeah, so our full house is $275. Again, we get so many add-ons now. The drones, obviously, the drone's going to drive that up. I mean, if you do a basic, if you do a deluxe with a drone, you're with the highlights or with the long add-on. Where's my long add-ons? Oh, it's down here. My long add-on is short add-on is 165, long add-on is 285. So you can see how that price tag could easily get to 320. We do a lot of drones. What do you suggest to someone who solely focuses on aerial? Oh, Jeremy, man, that's a really good question, man. Unfortunately, I think you're going to get eclipsed by a photographer in your area that picks up drone, that was focusing only on still photography, but then adds drone onto their business. So a photographer that was doing photography and adds drone, realtors only want to make one phone call. So don't ever forget that. They don't want to schedule you and then schedule the photographer. They just don't. They don't want to. That's upsetting the home seller twice. It's a disruption. And the photographer is going to be here this day. The drone person is going to be this day. You might get lucky if you're in an area and they don't have any other drone people, but somebody's going to eventually be, hey, I'm going to go get my 107 and I'm going to pick up drone, and just you'll get cut. You have to be able to do all of it, interior photos, and then yeah, you can do drone. But if you only do drone, I would say your only saving grace on that is for you to find a photographer, an interior photographer that never has any desire to learn drone. And they are out there, and I've got some in my network. So if you want, give me a call, and maybe there's somebody in your area that you want to partner with. So that's the only saving grace to that, I think. That's my opinion. That's pretty cool, Dale, that you brought your laptop and showed the tours to the house. Yeah, New Mexico requires floor plans. So floor plans, I never answered, Karen, I'm sorry. I was going to BlueLaVa's website to show you my floor plan pricing, but it is on my real estate pricing page here, and floor plans are under our add-on section. And we do the floor plans for, interactive floor plans start at 125 for 3,000 square feet, 4,000, 160. They go from 125 to 240, and we run them through Kubicasa. So everything's on my website on the pricing page. All right, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Gustavo. You guys are great. Okay, let's see. My first. Okay. Oh, James, how you doing? Yeah, it's your first show. Welcome to RTV. I had fun. Yeah, thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Richard. The QR code that links directly to Google review. QR code that links directly to Google. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I see what you're saying. Yeah, make a QR code that links directly to your Google review sites. That's a good idea for sure. Integration with QuickBooks, our TV system definitely will. Yeah, that's on the plan, but after calendar integration. So QuickBooks is on the list. It's just grayed out right now. You're welcome, Carlos. You're welcome, Michael. Thank you. Okay. All right. I'm still answering some questions. Thank you too, Karen. Thank you, Linda. Okay. What is the item you give away with your logo on it to customers that they like the most? You know, our favorite giveaway right now, my favorite giveaway is like the lens cloth. This is going to be like one of these. They're expensive though, and we give them to good clients, and they can use them to wipe off their cell phone cameras. These are really nice. I don't have a BlueLaVa media one, but this is from Screen Mom. These are really nice, and you can get them fairly inexpensive. I would recommend getting one that at least covers the palm of your hand. Any smaller, and they're kind of like, you know, the small ones kind of stink. I don't like them. When I went to the real estate photography convention last year, I got big 7-inch ones with our logo on them, but they're $4 a piece, so they're not cheap. But yeah, I do like these. These are my favorite giveaway. Balls, not so much. Pens are okay, but they kind of fall apart. They're hard to find good ones. But yeah, I like these lens cloths because people never throw these away. Have you noticed that? We all have piles of these around our house, piles of them. At least I do. So it's awesome. Okay. Yeah, we do 5 stops at BlueLaVa. We used to do 7, but the Canon D90 does 5. You can get Magic Lantern if you want to do more stops. Like Magic Lantern will run on that's Magic Lantern dot. It's a hack for the camera. Hold on. So Magic Lantern basically hacks the motherboard. It's right here, Magic Lantern. It hacks the motherboard of a Canon camera. It might even work for some Nikons too, but it's pretty sweet. It basically unlocks the full potential of your Canon chip. We used it at BlueLaVa Media, and it opens you up to like 60 frames per second, 120 frame per second video, and I think brackets a 7, maybe even 9 with a Canon T5i. It was crazy. So we used that for a long time. Again, we just upgraded to the D90. The D90 does brackets of 5, which should be fine. So anyway, yeah, check that out. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome, Kyle. Thank you. Man, it's good to hear from you, Kyle. I haven't heard from you in a long time, dude. That's great to hear from you. Okay. Well, you guys, I think, I don't know. I think that's all the questions. I've got a lot of thanks here. I don't see anything with a question mark underneath it. Awesome, Mark. Thank you. Hey, I think this is your second show, maybe. All right, you guys, I got to go. It's 8:41 and I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm losing my voice. What does the graphic element of our logo mean? I don't know. It's like it's ancient though, isn't it? It's ancient wisdom. I thought when I saw it, I thought of Stonehenge or some kind of hieroglyph. But we are the oldest virtual tour and software company around still. So I think iPix is out of business. So it was old, ancient, but it is a camera lens in the middle, and these are little hot spots, you know. But yeah, it's a pretty sweet logo. I like it a lot. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Have a good night, everybody. I appreciate your business, your trust, and your dedication to our brand over the years, all your support. Call me anytime. Have a good night. Bye-bye.